Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. My name's Mary, and I am new to YouTube, and I'm trying to make some review content, mostly Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret, but maybe some other things, maybe some arts and crafts. So, kind of just seeing where it goes. So today, I wanted to compare the new Apple Crisp from Victoria's Secret Pink to the previous 2 years sort of apple scents that they released in the fall. So I just kind of noticed they always have an apple scent, and I just thought it'd be interesting to compare in case you're wondering, should I get this? Is it just like the other one? So I'm going to do a little review and comparison for you. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so we'll start with Apple Crisp, which is this year's release for Pink. So I've only been collecting pink fragrances for a couple of years now, like a year and a half. So I don't know how far it goes back, but for at least the past 3 years, like this year, last year, and the year before, they've had sort of like a fall back to school launch with like usually 3 or 4 scents in it. And it's always had like an apple one in it. So I just, once again, kind of thought, why don't I compare this to the other ones? And that way, maybe give you some info about whether like you need this or whether you think you'll like this more or less than the other ones. So I'll go ahead and start with this one and kind of just talk about it, and then I'll go back and review it, compare it to the other two from previous years. At the end, I also will just briefly compare um, the scent to like two higher end Apple fragrances. So Apple Love from Ellis Brooklyn. That was upside down. I just have a mini, and then Kayali Eden Juicy Apple, which is just very popular scent. So just to kind of give an idea of like what sort of category of apple it's in. Okay, so I'll start with the notes. So once again, this is Apple Crisp, and the notes are fruit tart, honey pear, and sugar glaze. So interestingly, they don't actually list apple in the notes, but I think it's just kind of a given. Okay, so let me just spray that. I might run out of arm spaces, so I do have some tester strips if I need them. So like right away, this one's like very like astringent. I don't like, not in a bad way, but like it's very like fresh. Um, and obviously like the alcohol might just need to dry down. Um, so, but yeah, it's got like a very like fresh apple when you first spray it, and then it just starts to like sweeten up very quickly. And these are all pink sweet scents. They're all sweet. Um, so no surprises there. Um, so yeah, when I spray this, I think of like a very like fresh apple, like you're just biting into like a really fresh apple. Like a perfectly crisp, but like a red apple, not a green apple. Um, when it has like the fruit tart note, that makes me think it's gonna have like a bakery aspect to it, but I'm not getting much of that. It really is just it's a sweet apple with just like a little bit of maybe like a little extra warmth as it dries down. Speaking of dry down, I'll come back to that once I've sort of let that go for a little bit longer. Okay, so the next one is Apple Rush, and this is from last year. And this is Honeycrisp Apple, Pink Clouds, and Caramel Vanilla. So let's give this one a spray. Do this arm. Yeah, that opening is like really different. This one has like a green apple, but like it's also like much sweeter right off the bat. It's got like a candy quality to it. So I almost feel like I'm smelling like a an apple candy. Yeah, so just like that sweet candied, like it's almost like reminding me of like a specific candy, but like I don't know, like a apple gummy bear or something like that. So let's see. So yeah, pink clouds and caramel vanilla. Pink clouds, fantasy note. Like, what does that mean? It's up to your imagination. You know, I'm thinking of like cotton candy clouds from Bath and Body Works. It's probably just trying to say it's like light and airy at the same time as being like sweet. So yeah, that one's good. More like apple candy, in my opinion. Okay, and lastly, Apple Dream, from 2 years ago. I actually found this at the outlet, so I didn't have it from like years ago. I just got this recently. I was like, oh, this is like 2 years ago. So this one is golden delicious apple gloss candy coating and autumn amber. So this is the only one that's kind of like mentioning like a ambery kind of background. Let's see. So this is golden delicious. This is honey crisp, and this one doesn't say what kind of apple it is. All right, so let's give this one a go. Yeah, the opening of this one also has like more of that like slightly abrasive quality to it. Almost like you're smelling like old nail polish in there or something like that. I'm sure that'll fade off pretty quickly. So yeah, this one is sweet, but I don't think it's as sweet as the last one. And it does have that like caramel note. So I do notice that. So this one does say, oh wait, it doesn't say caramel. It says gloss candy. But to me, I think this one has like a caramel feel to it. So maybe that's just a combination of like the candy coating and the amber, kind of just creating like more of like a warmth and a sweetness. So they're all different. They're not. It's not just a repackage. There is differences between them. Let me spray the first one more time. I think that I feel like these two are more similar than the one from last year. Um, but yeah, this one doesn't have quite that like caramelliness to it. It's more just like sweet and bright. So that's it for the pink. I'm going to talk a little bit about how they compare to those perfumes. I'm gonna smell like an apple orchard by the end of this. Apple Love from Ellis Brooklyn. I don't know. This came out like 2 or 3 years ago. Um, okay, let's find a empty spot. Obviously, these are perfumes. They're going to be stronger and more complex than the Pink Mist. But I was just kind of curious which one, the new one, smells like, if it smells like either of those, Kayali or Ellis Brooklyn. It's interesting because they're all apple, but they all have like a slightly different interpretation of the apple. This one, once again, has that kind of like abrasiveness to it right off the bat, but it also has like warmth and like vanilla kind of developing underneath of it. Um, yeah, this doesn't have the notes on it, so I'll have to look up the notes. I'll like put them in the text, like right next to me. So yeah, there's a similarity, but like it's just like the quality of the apple is like very different for this one. Okay, and then Kayali. Let's see, where have I not sprayed? That one's kind of fruity, like more just like overall fruity upon first spray. So I smell the apple, but I just kind of smell like fruitiness in general. Almost like a fruit punch with like apple in it. And once again, I don't have the notes on this, so I'll have to just like put them up next to my head there and look them up. And this one's reminding me a little bit more of this one, I think, in terms of like it kind of has like an apple candy kind of vibe to it. Yeah, so I'd say overall, I'd say that last year's Apple Rush like reminds me a little bit more of the Kayali, and then this year's and this one from 2 years ago remind me a little bit more of the Apple Love because they have that like more astringent smelling apple, but then like some kind of like sweetness or like carameliness um, in the dry down. So, they're all good. I like them all. I love apple as a scent. I'm going to do a Bath and Body Works apple things um, because they have Sweater Weather, which is like an apple scent. So I wanted to compare that to some other apple scents and maybe, just kind of do the same thing with that it's like a very different take on apple. So I like all of these. They're all sweet. Lasting quality for all of them is not going to be very long because they're pink fragrances. They're not going to be like as strong as obviously a perfume, and pink mists just tend to not last as long. But respray and enjoy. And I think that you could be a young person and like these, or older person. It's just like a very pleasant, enjoyable scent for this time of year when we're thinking about fall, apple picking, and things like that. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review. And moral of the story, I guess, like if you already have a bunch of apple fragrances and you don't really feel like spending more money on another fragrance, then it's not that different from other scents, but it is different. So it's not just the old ones repackaged. So I think they're all fun, like I said, and I think they're all enjoyable. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know below what you think of these different scents, or if you have any other comparisons or thoughts on any of them. Thanks so much. Have a good one.